Hi there. My name is Becky Fangman. I'm a Silver Young Living organization leader in Missouri, and I'm going to show you really quickly how to make some awesome gifts for Christmas. The one thing that I'm going to show today is a DIY melt and pour soap. So one of the things that you're going to need is a silicone mold. I love a basic rectangle silicone mold just because you can do so many things with this. So you can put your whole block of soap in here, and then you can use a crinkle cut. So you'll need a crinkle cut cutter. You can get one from your local kitchenware store. If you have a friend that does Pampered Chef, hit them up, ask them to buy a crinkle cut. It's actually a veggie cutter, I think, to make pretty designs on your vegetables that you're going to do for, or vegetable trays. So that and a rectangular soap, a silicone soap mold. You can see it's real squishy. The next thing that you need is what I have used is a 2-pound melt and pour soap base that I got on Amazon.com, and I'll put a link to that below in the comments. A lot of you will be watching this on Facebook. I'll also put it in the YouTube description just so that you're aware. It's by Our Earth's Secrets. It's an oatmeal melt and pour soap base, and it's 2 pounds. And what you're gonna do is it's gonna come in 2 blocks, a pound each, and you'll just take a knife and coarse cut them into chunks. Then you're gonna put it in the microwave, and what it ended up taking me was, it was about, I think it was 2.5 to 3 minutes. And you're gonna end up with this, looks like milk, but it's really soap. So what you're gonna do at this point is, because it's melted, you're gonna wanna let it cool down but not set up. So I've let it sit and cool, and if you have a candy thermometer, they say to let it get down to 90 degrees. And when you do that, then you kind of preserve the constituents that are in your essential oils, if that's what you're after. If you're just trying to, scent your soap, then you're not going to be as concerned about the temperature, although I would still recommend that you let it cool. So in my mixture for 2 pounds, what I've found is 20 to 30 drops is going to give it a nice scent. You're going to want to decide which scents that you'd like to use in yours. Some really good ideas for men would be cedarwood, sandalwood, orange, vetiver, or you could even make him soap with Shutron from Young Living, which I think would be awesome. Everybody loves a lavender soap, and today what I'm going to use in mine is a little concoction that I kind of just went through the different smells and decided that I thought this would smell really nice, and it ends up that it smells amazing. So what I'm going to be using is Stress Away, cinnamon bark, Sensation, sandalwood, which I don't have in front of me, and I'm going to actually put some progescents in mine. So what I'm going to do is equal drops of everything except the cinnamon bark. I'm going to do 6 to 8 drops of each oil that I just listed. I can't count and talk at the same time apparently. So 6 to 8 drops of each of those scents is what you're going to mix in. I just did the progescents, and then I'm going to do the sensation. And can you imagine maybe how it's going to make you feel? I just think getting up in the morning and using this soap in your shower or your bath or before bed, I just think it's just going to be an amazing scented soap to have on your skin and to be inhaling when you're using. So that combined with the Stress Away, Sensation, the progescents. The Stress Away is going to have it's going to pull a little bit of a vanilla smell, which we like. You can also theoretically, if you'd like, add jojoba oil or vitamin E to your soap if you want it to be a little bit more moisturizing. Now I said to use equal parts of all of the oils except cinnamon bark. I'm just going to use 1 drop of cinnamon because it goes a long way, and we don't want it to smell mostly like cinnamon because that's what cinnamon will dominate. You're going to get all of those added in here and stirred, and all I'm using is a glass rod that I purchased online. You use popsicle sticks, just use what you have, whatever you have. If you have a wooden spoon, that would be a great idea. I'm going to do my 1 drop of cinnamon because that's all you'll need. I'm stirring it. I wish I had a better angle for you to see, but I'm just actually mixing it in stirring it in, and it's staying liquid. You can see it's really liquidy, it's like milk. And then all I'm gonna do is pour this into the mold. And then what I have is I have the mold, actually you wanna set it on a cookie sheet or something sturdy. This is just a cutting board that I have mine sitting on to give it shape. I'm just going to pour this in and fill the mold. Everything is getting poured in there. I see some oatmeal at the bottom of my glass. You should put, I have a container, it says dried stuff, rose petals, and there's actually some lavender buds, but for this purpose, it's not going to lend to the scent as much as it's going to become kind of an exfoliant that's mixed in. So, as I'm sitting here watching this set up, my mold is actually giving a little. It's widening out, which that's not ideal. However, because I didn't try this before I came on to make this video, I'll let you see. You can see that it's widened out a little throughout. But as it starts to set up, what I'll probably do, I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator, and I will be checking it throughout the day and just kind of maybe squeezing it in and giving it back its shape. If you wanted to, you could put maybe a couple of cake pans or little 9 by 9 pans on the side and just sort of hold them there to hold its shape. What you're gonna do with the dried flowers is just sprinkle them on top. And that's gonna give a really pretty edge to the soap when it's done. So I'm sprinkling it generously across the edge or the top of this. And so the edge of the soap when we cut it is gonna be so pretty. And then the flecks of oatmeal that are in this are they're just beautiful. So when you go to cut this, it's gonna be such a pretty little presentation and a pretty present to give somebody. And then when you crinkle cut it, it's gonna look, you know, like, I mean, it's just gonna look homemade, it's gonna look pretty. So as I'm sprinkling these in, what I'm doing is just kind of pressing it into the top layer of the soap. And I'm just letting the soap kind of squish up around it. And if I was better at videography, you could see everything on, and so I have the dried flowers just in the top, and what I'm gonna do is just let this sit. I'm gonna let it sit on the counter for probably 15 to 20 minutes and just let it kind of sit up. And then I'll come in and probably do like I said and kind of squish it on the sides a little, and then I'll put it in the freezer to continue setting up. And once it's finished setting up, I'll come back and show you what our end result was, and then we'll even go over some of the paper crafting that I'll be doing to go with it, and the presentation and the final little presentation about how it's going to look when we put it in our gifts. I'll see you in a little while. Hi, welcome back. So my soap is set up. It just came out of the freezer. Here is what it looks like. I just want to show you that what I'm going to do is put it I'm going to give it about an inch or so. I'm just going to place it and drive it down. And it's not hard to cut. It's soft. It's soft like butter. So you cut it and you have your pretty crinkle cuts on both sides, but look at how pretty they are. You can see that some of the pieces of stuff, and there's the oatmeal that kind of fell to the bottom, but this is what your piece of soap looks like, okay? So I'm just gonna go through and cut just about an inch block for the whole rest of the bar. This is what it looks like. Aren't they pretty? So let's go do some paper crafting and make them really cute for your gifts.